Hey there friends, welcome back to another Dinkum video. This time we're going to cover some tips and tricks on how to navigate and make the most of the newest mine level in Dinkum, the Hot. This level of the mine is probably more for late game players, so if you've been playing for Dinkum for a while and have access to some of the more advanced tools and weapons and food in the game. If you are a new player, maybe save this video and come back later, or gather up some friends and go in a group, because definitely you're going to need the extra help. So we're going to cover a few topics, and we're going to cover food and weapons and just navigating down there. So come along with me as we take a look at what's what. Two things that are essential in going down to the hot are your food and your weapons. One of the things I'd recommend cooking, especially for that particular part of the mine, is well, if you can get your hands on some mighty spread seeds, you should definitely invest in that. Also, if you've celebrated on your island your 1-year anniversary, having those snags to really extend the amount of food you can eat at a time is also incredibly helpful. So definitely try to do that. But I would say a lot of burger is a great recipe to take down there with you, as well as the prime roast. You're going to want to recover your heart health quickly, and keep your stamina up as well. So my winning combination is using the mighty spread to extend my health and stamina bar, and then eating a popsicle. It aids in being able to recover your hearts and your stamina, but also gives you a little bit of resistance to the heat, So that's my combination. I would love to hear what you guys do when you go down to the mine. Again, these are kind of more late game recipes. You could also utilize the ice cream cone, again, prime roast and a lot of burger. Those are going to give you the most bang for your buck when it comes to recovering your health and stamina combo together, plus upping your defenses and your attack. If you just, have access to waddle tea or the bottle brush brew, things like that, you could do that as well. But this is my winning combination. I'd love to hear what y'all's are. Mighty spread and popsicles for the win. Let's talk some tools and weapons. First things first, you're gonna need a glider. It's essential in traveling around in the hot down there. You don't have to have this big fancy flame glider. You can use any of the gliders. I actually recently acquired this in one of the dungeons down there, and I am using it like crazy. I was very excited to find this pretty much on my first run. Not everybody's going to be so lucky, but a glider is essential. I wouldn't even attempt to go down there without one. Another thing is a really good weapon. One of the things you can make in the new winter update is the ice hammer. And it is incredibly effective against all the mobs you'll find down there, the little flame jellies and the yoblins. This definitely takes them down a notch, and it is a slower tool. You'll notice that it takes a while for me to recover and be able to use it, but it does 20 damage. So that's a good thing to kind of stun them a little bit, or at least kind of stand outside of room and use this weapon to go after them. The Star Saber is also a favorite in terms of weapon. It's very fast. It doesn't take any time to recover of using it. Also, a very good one is the Battle Shovel, the old reliable. It's only, I think, 14 damage. Star Saber is kind of hard to come by. It is more of a late game thing. If you've gotten a meteor shower on your island and you've been able to acquire the stuff to make that, definitely invest in one. They are worth it. Plus, they make a really cool sound. Who doesn't love that? Another essential is blast toads. You'll see that I have a lot of them. We'll move away from these little seeds making all kinds of sparkles. The blast toads are really great at stunning all the enemies that you're going to encounter down there, and giving you time to run away if you need to, or giving you time to blind them and then just take them out. It's also pretty. So definitely get some blast toads. You're gonna want keys. Don't forget your keys. That's how you get into the dungeons. That's going to be essential. So, yeah, keys are a big yes. A backpack that you can get down there, a swag back. This is one of the best new additions to the game. Love it. You can also color it. So that gives you extra storage space when you go down to the mine. If you've got, a bunch of stuff, don't mind me. I got junk in my pockets. But yeah, these are the tools. A glider, a weapon, keys, and blast toads are going to be your best friend. And also a mining helmet. Those are something you can pick up down in the other mine levels or on the treasure island. So definitely have one of those. You're going to need it. It is a little dark down there. So are y'all ready to take an adventure down into the hot, hot, hot? Let's go. And here we are. First things first, take a look at the map. Now, my mine is kind of at the southern end of my map because on my overworld map, that's where it is. So typically, depending on where your mine is, that's gonna be where your directionality, where you go from there. I usually travel north because I'm gonna run into my dungeons a little easier that way. But your mine may be placed in several different places compared to mine. So there you go. So you're gonna come across these water bottles all over the hot, hot, hot. What you're gonna want to do is whack them with a weapon once. And then you can pick them up, and they come in handy because if you don't have a lot of stamina or whatnot and you want to create more walkable space, because trust me, you don't want to get into the lava, you'll throw them in and it'll create a hardened lava platform. And these are handy just to get around, or if your whole sole purpose to come down here is just to get some zirconium, then you're definitely going to need the water bottles. Brief segue for a second. I would definitely say that if you're coming down to the hot, 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 you probably should pick an avenue of purpose, if you will. You're either coming down here to harvest and mine zirconium, or you're coming down here to hunt in the dungeons. You're not going to have time to do both typically. So I would pick, what thing you're going to do and go for that. You're going to want to also have, if you're coming down here for that purpose, you're going to want to have your jackhammer, and then you take your wonderful little zirconium ore and you put it in, don't do it like I just did it. There you go. And then boom, zirconium ore. Definitely it's going to be one or the other on that particular scenario, at least that I have found. You're just not going to have enough time. Another thing you're going to find down here is black marble. There's all kinds of goodies. So I would definitely say if you're coming down here to harvest for things, pick that avenue. If you're coming down here to do the zirconium ore, do one or the other. You're going to save yourself a little heartache on that. If you happen to get in the lava, oh no, I'm burning. My biscuits are burning, as I like to say. Access your emotes and sit down. When you're sitting, you can recover your heart health a lot faster. I say heart health. I don't know why I keep saying it like that. It's your health bar. Y'all know what I mean. But you can take a seat. Obviously, make sure that the coast is clear and that there are no baddies coming for you, because that would not be good. But then we will travel on. My suggestion is come down here with a friend or two or five. I would definitely say the best use of your time is if you've got a buddy system and you have two friends go in one direction, two friends go in another, and so on. You're going to cover more ground and you can find things a lot faster that way. And if you've got a buddy, you got somebody watching your back. And that would be my recommendation. I know not everybody plays online with friends, but if you do and you can, I would absolutely recommend that. It's going to be the best way to maximize your time down here and find as many of the dungeon rooms as possible. And then, you just have a good friend to hang out with in the meantime. Another useful tip is if you're trying to recover your health and you've got all these little flame jellies kind of bouncing around down in the lava, find a spot that's elevated like this. They cannot jump up on top of here. You do not want to be on ground level. They can reach you. But up here, well, you're out of reach. So definitely pick a spot that is elevated to recover your health. Here's our little Yoblin friend. Kind of sneaking up on him a little bit. I do believe that the water does have an effect and will basically one-hit them. So if you've got the water bottles, use them to your advantage. Once you find what I'm calling the little dungeons down here, the little prize rooms, you're going to look for the the little torches here, these little iron torches. This is the entrance. All right, and there's usually goblins here to greet you. What I typically do is I go into my map and I make a marking with a star or whichever symbol you like to let me know. Actually, I'm gonna put it over here, that this is the entrance, because later on you're gonna lose track of where you're at, and you're gonna want to know how to get out of here. And here we go. Killing one of the goblins. Super easy. You can get surrounded very quickly, so just be careful. So here we are. We're going to enter in. One of the first things I do is I try to take out these guys right here. These guys are the healers. They will raise the other ones from the dead. So just keep that in mind. There's all this black marble here you can harvest if that's one of the things you're down here for. And then here we are. We come up to a gate. My advice is to use a hammer. Whether it's the ice hammer or really any hammer you have, it sends a shockwave out and can definitely help injure the enemies ahead of time and give you a little bit of an advantage when you go into the room. You can just, kill them outright, or you can get their health down enough that when you enter the room, it only takes one hit. That's my strategy. I'm curious to see what other people have. I usually come into a room like this and I just bomb the hell out of it. Blast toads galore. And then I hit them with the hammer. They're all stunned. That's my strategy. It doesn't always work the greatest. They don't stay stunned for long, but I definitely will set off more. You want to take out this guy. He's going to be your worst enemy here, and raise the other ones from the dead. And once you kill him, you want him to stay dead, because they pack a bit of a punch sometimes, and they knock you into the lava, which is really your biggest enemy here. So I took out that room fairly easily. However, I feel like the more people that you have in your party, sometimes the more difficult it can be, but that was also just pure luck on my end. So there you go. So as you can see here, we can go north, we can go east, or we can go west. I typically tend to pick a route, counterclockwise or clockwise depending, and then go from there. So we're going to take a look over in this direction. I always go right usually first. I know. OCD, right? You'll see on the map here that we've gotten to a spot. This is basically the treasure room. This is what they look like. And so here is what we're gonna do. Same trick I've used. Any of the little enemies that are right here by the gates, I'm going to just hammer them a little bit, and then I'm gonna use a key. I'm gonna go in, and I'm gonna throw a bunch of blast toads down and try to get them to come towards me. So once I get hit and I'm confused like this, don't move. Or equip your glider so that way you can get up in the air, because it'll make you go in the complete opposite direction that you intend to go in. And let's say you will set yourself on fire very easily that way. So I tend to try to stay in one place. When I get hit or I'm on fire like that, I definitely, the biggest advice I could give you is to stay in one place or equip your glider. Try not to move if you can, and just swing and hit as much as you can. And then of course you can see, ooh, look, all the treasures that you can get while you're here. Once you've collected everything that you need, I typically go into my map and then I mark this room as, yep, I've gotten it, I've cleared it, I've gotten all the stuff out of it, so I don't retrace my steps if I don't have to. I think it's a nice little trick on how to kind of keep yourself, well, hey, where am I going? What am I doing? Where have I been? Each room is going to be basically the same, but all the treasure chests are going to be slightly different and have slightly different rewards. That's part of the fun. It's like a wonderful little treasure hunt. Keys, gotta have the keys. These things right here, the tree pinchers, you definitely want to get yourself a set of those. Super cool, can pick up and move trees without having to replant anything. And blueprints are a very valuable commodity, especially since there's so many new recipes you can learn and things that you can craft. Also, you can collect these little torches as decoration. This entire floor is the black marble, and if you kill the little flame jellies, or as I like to call them, the little flame boogers, they drop this little jelly substance that you can use to craft other things like lava beds. Another tip I would point out here is doing a build mode. Whenever you're down here in the dungeon, the camera angle can be pretty tight sometimes and squeeze you in like that. And if you're playing with a controller, push down on your right joystick, it will give you this build mode, and it definitely makes seeing down here significantly easier. Let's see what treasures we got. More keys. We've got a perfect ruby and a telejumper. These little things come in quite handy. You should definitely, if you can get your hands on one, get it and play around with it. Check it out, see what it does. It's super fun. And just an FYI, the yoblins can walk through the lava, so don't think you're safe because you've crossed over to a different place. They can follow you, as can the flame jellies, if the lava bed floor is even with the lava itself. So just be aware of that. They can walk through the lava, and they can also set you on fire and do quite a bit of damage. So just watch your health, and if you need to, take a seat. Also, one of the really cool things is they can drop these Berconium wands, and that flame jelly I was talking about earlier. The Berconium wand shoots out these little like lava rocks that will set something on fire. Now, granted, I could have come over here and busted these up and it would have killed all those guys as much as using any of my weapons, but you know, what's the fun in that, right? It's a party! Alright, gotta take this guy out. I don't know what it is about this new mining level, but I am having the most fun figuring things out and just exploring and doing all the things here. It's been a delight. I don't know why. This particular one used to, it would scare the bejesus out of me, and I would hate coming down to the mine levels. If you happen to die and there's no one around to revive you, and you have to revive yourself, you end up back at the mine shaft. And then you have to retrace your steps. Also, as the time starts to wind down and it gets later and later, you're going to want to head towards the mine shaft. Or, as my friend Jen likes to call it, sometimes you can take the Death Express. If you stay out too late, it will decrease your health and your stamina the longer you're in the mine past the late hour. And then when you might die on your way back to the mine shaft and have to figure out what to do. So anyway, I hope these tips have helped you out, and I hope that makes you feel a little bit braver to go down to the hot if you've been wanting to try it but been a little apprehensive. Obviously, I have not covered every single possible tip and trick that you could use. I'm curious to see what you guys do, what weapons you use, what food combos you use, and what your strategy is for navigating around down here. And share with everybody else in the comments down below. I hope you guys have liked this content and enjoyed it. If so, please hit that like button and consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't already. And we also have memberships, lots of member-only content for you to indulge in, and game nights and things like that for you to participate in as well. So thanks so much for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope that you get hot very soon. Let me know how it goes. In the meantime, you guys be kind to yourselves, be kind to others, and I will catch you in the next one.